Have you ever felt that after a certain age, your body began to grow silent? Not because it no longer exists, but because you gradually stopped listening to it? There are parts of our body we shy away from, especially after turning 60. But truthfully, those parts aren't past their prime. They've just been forgotten, buried under years of living for others. Today, I want to share with you a gentle secret. Something so simple, it might already be sitting in your kitchen cupboard, but it has the power to awaken the life in places you thought were gone forever. No medicine, no surgery, no shame required, just one drop of essential oil, a meaningful touch, and a few minutes of true presence with yourself each day. It may sound small, but to many women, it's the doorway back to feeling like a whole woman again. If you're wondering, could this still be for me? I invite you to stay. In the next few minutes, you may realize what you thought was lost has only been waiting for you to return. If this touches something inside you, then the next part is just for you. If not, listen anyway, because sometimes a body only needs someone to believe it's still worthy of love. Can you hear me? If not, don't be afraid to leave a message below. I'll read and listen the way you're slowly learning to listen to yourself. I remember once, a woman in her 70s, tiny frame, silver hair like clouds, walked into my clinic on a rainy afternoon, sat down, and said, "Doctor, I don't know if I'm still a woman." It wasn't a complaint. It was her truth. So many postmenopausal women live quietly with a sense of losing connection to their bodies. Not just losing beauty, but losing themselves. There are parts of the body no one talks about, yet they carry deep sorrow, dryness, numbness, a coldness that makes it feel like that part no longer belongs. I've heard hundreds of women say they can't bear to look in the mirror, can't bring themselves to touch their own bodies, no longer feel confident even in their husband's embrace. But it's not their fault. Their body didn't change because they gave up. It changed because age took them into new terrain, where estrogen wanes, where blood vessels shrink, where cells that once came alive with a single touch now lie quiet. I often tell them, it's not because you're old, it's because no one ever taught you how to love yourself in this new form. Postmenopausal women don't lose their essence. They just need tenderness to reawaken it. Just the right signal, a small act of care. And that part of the body can revive, feel again, live again, and reclaim its powerful womanhood. If you're hearing this and see yourself in this story, know that you're not alone. You're not broken. You're simply waiting for something gentle enough, knowing enough, to awaken the part you thought had closed. And if I told you there is a very simple, entirely natural way to begin again, would you open your heart to it? If anything's unclear, leave a comment. I'm here and I'm listening. I once gave my mother a tiny bottle of essential oil, already blended with sweet almond oil, and said, "Try using this each night, gently, as if you're caring for a part of you that's been forgotten for years." She looked at me like I was joking, but I wasn't, because I know, from decades of caring for the elderly, some parts of a woman's body never truly disappear. They just go untouched, even by their owner. We often think regaining sensation, moisture, or softness in the intimate area after menopause requires hormones, pills, or complicated medical procedures. But in truth, nature has hidden miracles in the simplest things. Rosemary essential oil, the kind most people only use for cooking or room fragrance, is actually a wake-up medicine for tissues that have long slept in older women. When diluted properly and gently massaged onto the skin, it doesn't just increase circulation, it reawakens nerves that once carried feelings of love, connection, and confidence. Eleanor, 72, who lived alone after her husband's passing, once shared after just 1 week. I don't know what to call the feeling. It's like a thin fog inside me is lifting. It wasn't a noisy rebirth, just a quiet warmth returning. Tiny blood vessels began to open, bringing oxygen back to once withered skin. Softness returned, slowly, gently, like life flowing back home. To me, the greatest effect of this oil isn't physiological, it's emotional. When a woman touches her body with care, she says to herself, I still deserve this. If you're doubting or thinking this no longer applies to you, suspend disbelief for a moment. Try it once. Just a few minutes each day, one conscious touch, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see yourself again in the mirror, not as someone old, but as someone alive. Let me know in the comments if you need help. I'll guide you. I always tell my patients and my mother, how you touch yourself matters just as much as what you touch with. Some laugh and say, I don't have time or feelings to pamper myself. But after just 1 week, the first thing many notice isn't physical sensation. It's emotional shock. They'd forgotten how to care for themselves as a woman. You don't need anything fancy. To prepare the oil, 3 drops of rosemary essential oil mixed with a tablespoon of carrier oil, sweet almond, coconut, or jojoba. Rub your hands together to warm it. Bring them to your nose and take a deep breath. That scent isn't just aroma, it's your body's invitation. Let's begin. After a warm shower is ideal, skin is soft, blood vessels dilated, and the mind calmer. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably or lie down. No rushing. Start with the outer labia, just the skin. Gentle circular strokes with your fingertips. Don't press hard. Don't scrub. Just be present. Move slowly around the vulva over the clitoral hood. Never go inside. This is about the outer skin, the place where dormant blood flow longs to be reawakened. Throughout, don't forget to breathe. Deep, slow breaths. Because breath tells your body, I'm here now, just for you. Some women cry the first time, not from pain, but from realizing how long they've been absent from themselves. Just 5-7 minutes each day, nothing more. But if done consistently, night after night, a quiet miracle begins. The skin softens, warmth spreads, a small voice inside whispers, I'm still alive, I can still feel, I still deserve love. Susan, a patient of mine, once said, Doctor, at first I did it just for fun, but by day 3 I kept going, not for results, but because I missed the gentle act of touching myself. So this isn't just a technique, it's a return, a private, sacred ritual of friendship with your body. If anything's unclear, let me know. We're learning how to love ourselves again, from the smallest things. I always tell the women I care for, your body doesn't need a miracle to come back to life. It just needs to be listened to long enough. When you start the habit of applying oil each day, the transformation doesn't rush in like in the movies. It arrives slowly, gently, but surely, bit by bit, like a flower opening at dawn. On the first day, most women don't feel anything obvious. But the real shift isn't on the skin, it's in the mind. One woman, Lynn, told me, I thought I was doing something strange, but suddenly I felt moved. For the first time in years, I touched my body without shame or haste. And that moment, when you care for your body not out of need, but out of love, is when healing truly begins. By day 2 or 3, you may feel a subtle warmth spreading, a soft tingling sensation. Not painful, not shocking, just like a tiny stream flowing again after a long freeze. Skin that once felt cold, unfeeling, begins to soften. Some feel tears well up, because they realized their body never abandoned them. It was simply waiting to be called back with patience and kindness. By day 4 or 5, the real miracle often appears. You want to touch yourself again, not out of need, but because your body now feels like an old friend returning, someone you long to embrace. Moisture returns naturally. The sensation no longer feels dry or uncomfortable. Some even feel more easily moved, more easily smiling, and more easily loving. By day 6, something shifts inside. You walk a little slower, sit a little taller, your eyes sparkle a little brighter in the mirror. I'm not exaggerating. This is what it looks like when presence returns. The woman you thought had passed her prime starts to come back into focus, not with makeup or youth, but with a deep inner vitality. And the most amazing part, those around you will notice. They'll see you differently because you've begun to see yourself differently. By day 7, I call it the mirror moment. Many women tell me they suddenly see their vulva not as something strange or shameful, but as a part of them, alive, familiar, responsive, like a door opening after years of being locked shut. See, just 5-7 minutes a day, no noise, no cost, and your body begins to remember what you thought was lost. The ability to love, to connect, to live fully. And if you're on day 1 and feel nothing, don't give up. The body is like a hurt friend. It takes time to believe you've truly come back. If you've tried already, tell me, what day are you on? How does it feel? If anything is unclear, just ask. I'm here to walk with you, day by day. One of my patients, Mrs. 2, 68 years old, lived alone in a small house at the end of an alley. She was tidy, soft-spoken, always gentle, as if afraid of bothering anyone. After a routine checkup, I asked her, "What worries you most?" She paused, then shook her head. But when I touched her shoulder, she whispered, "I think I'm done. Done with age, done with worth, done with being valuable." Her words stopped me cold. This is the biggest mistake I've seen in so many women after 60. It's not that they stop caring for their health. They stop believing they deserve a full life. No one tells them directly, but through indifferent glances, vague words, and being overlooked, they learn to step back, step away from confidence, step away from feeling like a whole woman, and eventually they choose silence. They grow hesitant to touch their own bodies, afraid to speak of dryness, disconnection, or coldness in their intimate areas, not because they feel nothing, but because they believe, at this age, this must be normal. But you know what? That's not true. Normal doesn't mean you have to suffer. Normal doesn't mean you lose the right to be loved, desired, or to feel beautiful, even at 60, 70, or 80. Another patient once said, "I thought if I stayed silent, it would hurt less." But silence doesn't heal. It only pushes you farther from yourself and worse, from those you love. Once you believe you're no longer worthy, your body starts to believe it too. It stops responding, stops feeling, closes up, not because it's old, but because it's heartbroken. The biggest loss isn't wrinkles or white hair. It's the quiet surrender of yourself, so gradual you don't notice. But I'm here to remind you, you're not past your time. You only need to return, and maybe, just maybe, with a few minutes each day, a drop of oil, a deep breath, and the words, "I still deserve this." You'll see. It's not too late. If these words speak to you, leave me a message. Don't let age silence you. Let me help you say it again. I am still a woman, and I've never lost my worth. I once asked a woman in her 70s who had faithfully applied essential oil for over a month, "What kept you going, even when others gave up halfway?" She smiled and said, "Because I never saw it as treatment. I saw it as a date with myself." That answer, to me, is the clearest proof of the power of turning small actions into meaningful rituals of self-love. In the beginning, many try it out of curiosity. They dabble for a few days, then forget. But those who go the distance share something in common. They don't do it hoping to reclaim youth or reverse time. They do it to reconnect with their body not just once, but every day as a promise. The best way to turn oiling into a lasting habit is don't set big expectations at the start. Just 5-7 minutes each day after your bath before bed. Keep the oil bottle somewhere visible, on your dresser, beside your bed, or next to your toothbrush. Some days you'll feel your body respond, other days not much. But keep going, because the real meaning lies not in instant results, but in your steady presence with yourself. Some women I know add gentle stretching before they begin, not to exercise, but to signal to their body, this is our time now. They don't need soft music or scented candles, just a quiet space, a pair of caring hands, and a belief that they are worth caring for. An old lady named Diane once told me, "I used to think this was frivolous, until I realized I look forward to every evening like my old age finally has something to be excited about. And you know what? That feeling of anticipation, that's life coming back. When you repeat an act with love day after day, it stops being a chore. It becomes a part of you, like brewing a warm cup of tea at night, like reading a few pages before sleep, gentle, quiet, but deeply meaningful. If you've started this journey, please keep going. Not for anyone else, not to prove anything, but to affirm one truth. You're still here. You're still your own best companion. And if one day you feel discouraged, ask yourself, have I touched my body with all the tenderness I could? If the answer is no, start again, gently but sincerely. If you need someone to remind you, leave me a message. I will be here. So you don't forget, caring for your body after 60 is not just about health. It's about preserving a love story, and that love begins with you. I once sat beside an 82-year-old woman. She clutched a tiny bottle of oil in her hand, eyes glistening. She said, "I never thought I could feel anything at my age, but now I look forward to each evening just to be alone and touch myself." You see, sometimes what a woman needs isn't a miracle, but a chance to befriend her body again, gently, kindly. The message I want to leave you with isn't to praise essential oils or to promise a magical result after 7 days. What I want you to carry with you is the belief that you are still whole, despite time, despite age. Your body never abandoned you. It's simply been waiting for you to come home. And when you touch it with love, with care, even if it's as simple as applying oil each night, it will respond in ways you thought were lost. Moisture, warmth, vitality, and a quiet, glowing sense of revival. You don't have to do it to become someone else. You just have to do it to remember that you are still you, a whole, beautiful woman still capable of love, connection, and joy. And if there's one thing that brings me the deepest happiness in this work, it's seeing a woman over 60 or over 70 look into the mirror and smile, not because the wrinkles are gone, but because she realizes, I'm still here, and I can still love. You may not believe it yet. You may still hesitate or feel this story is too personal. But if even a part of your heart was gently stirred by what I've shared, I invite you to try just 1 week, a few minutes each day, as a gift to yourself. And if you've already begun, if you've felt anything in your body, in your emotions, tell me. Leave me a comment below. Just one line is enough. So I know you're still there. So I know this story didn't pass you by. If this video helps you, if it could touch a woman you care about, a sister, a mother, a friend who is silently enduring, please share it. You never know. You may be the bridge that helps someone begin again. And if you'd like to keep walking with me in other stories, other secrets to staying well, to living more fully in aging, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. I'm here every week to tell you the things no one says to older women, but that I believe you deserve to know. We don't need to turn back time to feel young again. We only need to relearn how to listen to our bodies, to touch them with reverence. And trust me, once you begin, you'll realize aging isn't the end. It's a new chapter, deeper and more complete. You're still here, and you can begin again today. You are still whole. You are still radiant. You are still worthy of love.